As you create your first OneNote class notebook, I recommend you start on your Office 365 portal homepage. In our case, our MyECSD homepage. In the Apps Launcher, a little waffle up here, select it and look for Class Notebook. Not OneNote, but Class Notebook. This is a very specific type of OneNote notebook that has permissions built right in. So that's what we want. If you don't see it in your app launcher, your quick launch, just go down to all apps, search for it on your list. Once you see Class Notebook, it's going to pop open the website onenote.com/class notebook. So alternatively, you can just type in this website, onenote.com/class notebook, sign in with your Office 365. It will bring you to the same place. But for those who want an easier to remember place, the Apps Launcher and Class Notebook. Now that I'm in, I'm going to select Create a Class Notebook. A few seconds later, it's going to bring me to this Creator little wizard. It takes you through a few steps that we need to fill in some key information, starting with the name of it. Now you can make one for an entire homeroom. You can make one down to a subject level. In fact, you can even make one to a unit level. So I'm going to make one for grade 4 science. For plants. 3 areas of your OneNote notebook. Your collaboration space for everyone to be able to edit and add content to, the content library that only the teacher adds content to that the students can view or make copies of stuff, and then the private student notebooks that only the students can see their own and the teacher can see all student notebooks. If you want, you can add in another teacher. This is handy. You can come back to this later and add in any other teachers you want. Perhaps you've got a co-teacher. Perhaps you've got a situation where someone is taking over your class at a later date, such as a medical leave or maternity leave. You can add in other people, other teachers. Perhaps it's an administrator or a learning coach, tech coach. You can add in other teachers optionally. Student names. Unless you are using the Microsoft Teams built-in class notebook for a Microsoft team, you're going to enter in student names. Now, if you're just trying this out for the first time, you may want to just do a little trial. You may want to talk to a colleague, ask if you can put in a colleague's name or another student account, individual student in your class, or perhaps your whole class if you want to kind of try this out together. I'm going to use a demo student account. If you need to borrow some demo student account credentials, Cinemata Catholic, just drop me an email and I'll let you borrow these credentials so you can see what this looks like from the student side as well. Now by default, it's going to give you these 4 different private tabs, section tabs in each student notebook. If you haven't done this before, you may want to just roll with this and see how it works. If you know there's an area you don't want, uncheck it. And if you know there's an area you want to add more, you can do that. For example, if I want to have a content vocabulary, a personalized vocabulary list for each student to work on and add to throughout the unit, I can add this. Remember, this is in each student's private space. So this is not one big area that we're all working in. It's just for each student and individual. This kind of gives you a little preview what the teacher notebook would look like as well as the student notebook. If you're satisfied with that, you can create. It takes just a couple of minutes. While you wait, at this point you can open it straight away in your OneNote application, or you can open it through your web browser. It really doesn't matter. You shouldn't need to install the class notebook add-in. It should be there in your OneNote program, certainly there in the online version of OneNote. So I'm going to choose Open in OneNote. It's going to ask my permission to open OneNote. And what will happen here is if I have any other notebook open, it'll just pop in my brand new class notebook, empty class notebook. And that is as easy as it is to create a OneNote class notebook.